So RFK is going after Big Pharma, and this is a lot of news coming out regarding the vaccines and regarding Anthony Fauci's actions and regarding them funding gain of function laboratories or tests in Wuhan, all which was thought as conspiracy, and there were people were talked against about, is coming out. So any thoughts on RFK going after the Big Pharma?
Well, to generalize, I think RFK is right on target. I worked for a large medical company 20 plus years ago. I saw the great things about the medical company, and I also saw the problems behind it. I don't believe any corporation should be running the country. I don't think they should have such great influence. I don't believe that they should, in let's say the most prosperous country in the world for many, America, I don't think there should ever be a time when children or people with less money should be able to get the operations or the drugs they need. So I think it's out of control, and I think it's been controlled for too long just by profit centers and for profit. As far as the Wuhan labs and Fauci, it was November when the first problems were starting, I believe, in Wuhan. Now, I got a report, and I didn't verify this report, but it was confidential through some old friends of mine, and it showed that we had been doing gain of function research there. It was funded by Fauci. It was already known about, and that it was in this Wuhan. But at the same time, I was seeing clips on the internet of new things like Chinese people eating live mice and Chinese people eating bats and Chinese people eating caterpillars and all kinds of weird stuff. And after watching this, I'm thinking to myself, this is horrible. What's wrong with these people? And then I thought, wait a minute, why am I watching? I've never seen this stuff before. Why am I watching? Who's showing me this to make this reaction come out of me? And I thought back and I thought, well, there we go. Somebody is trying to really change this story and make it a natural event where the coincidence that a bat virus just happened to be in the place where they're doing the experiments, which they're certainly doing the experiments, and it's not even hidden that Wuhan is the experimental laboratory. That was in early November, and as soon as it started and we had all the lockdowns, I thought, well, isn't this kind of obvious that it's coming from here? When I heard Fauci talk, I thought he's not making any references to that at all. He's totally avoiding all this issue. So yes, I think he's completely behind it. I think he's complicit in the whole thing. I think he's responsible for over 1 million people dying. He's not responsible for the virus itself necessarily, but there's a lot going on. We don't know. I can't make assumptions or judgments, but I can certainly look at the facts and say there's a lot that happened that we should know more about. And when people were lying about it, they should be brought to justice. They should be held responsible.
Yeah, well, brought to justice and held responsible. But you have President Biden on the last day of his presidency almost giving him a preemptive pardon. Now, if he's done nothing wrong, then why give him a pardon for something crime that he has never committed, right? Because a pardon is given to somebody who is a criminal who has done something wrong and he has been convicted. And what is he be pardoning him for? And if he is pardoning him for the things that he has done in the past and they don't want him to be caught in the future, that means that the previous administrations was in bed with all of this and was directing the people in the wrong way.
Well, that's a lot to wrap together. In general, Biden, and certainly in his last days, acted kind of like a senile crime boss. And by pardoning everybody who could be implemented or might be implemented, who was never implemented or even accused, Fauci on the other side has been accused many times and he's been protected completely. And I think the American people don't agree with any of that. I think if there's something to be brought to trial, you would assume that the left is the first ones that would want him to go to trial to clear himself of any wrongdoing. They were the ones who attacked Trump for 4 years, and 4 years before that, while he was in office, disrupted the whole political movement of the United States. And so I think that that whole idea of not wanting or pardoning them because they might be arraigned by the current administration is it's absolutely an admission of guilt.
Yeah, so they are the ones who talk about justice. They are the one who talk about free speech. They are the one who talk about fairness. The other side is authoritarian, but the actions completely show something else.
Well, that's the case. Yeah, the actions are showing something very different, with the excuse that they don't trust the Trump administration and they're going to be coming after them, which is kind of comical at this stage because that's exactly what the other side has been doing forever.
So they do exactly the thing that they are talking about, and then they blame the other for the thing that they are themselves are doing.
No, they're blaming the other side for things they might be doing that they're not doing, actually. So the Trump administration has not started a bunch of witch hunts. It's not made up impeachment trials, has not made up felony charges on misdemeanors. They haven't created this whole system to take down anybody that disagrees with them. They have not done that at all. Yet the left is saying that's why we're pardoning everybody in advance. No, the reason they're doing this, especially the people that were going against Trump, and using the justice system in a way that they certainly should not have been doing, and that most of the American public agrees with that there was a big miscarriage of justice for a long, long time, and no one was checking it. Yeah, now it's time to check the system again. It's called checks and balances, and the point is they're so against that. It's an admission that there is definitely something wrong.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your thoughts.
You're welcome.